The final episode, murders, banishments and a disqualification have taken us from 20 players to the final 5, with 4 faithfuls left and 1 traitor vying for the prize pot of $94,500. A final where I thought, judging by the last scene in episode 9, we would see a pair of victorious faithfuls. I should have known better than to think it was all just gonna happen that way, with Gerline and Leroy sharing the money. In a game based on deceit, even the most strongest of alliances can still have the act of betrayal.
I just hope that nobody backstabs me.
Amongst the faithfuls we have Trayvon, the faithful who admitted to lying about his profession at the start. Not exactly the best way to win over a bunch of strangers in a game of trust and deceit. To the viewer, he was someone who suspected 2 of the 4 traitors, but only ended up voting for the one who hadn't been banished. So to the other faithfuls, Trayvon was highly inconsistent, and in the words of Gerline, useless.
What do you want to do?
I don't want to go after Trayvon.
Why?
There's so much evidence against him and not enough against Donna. Basically, he's defended and threw away a vote on 3 traitors, and he lied. He's just doing all these things that make him look like a traitor.
Trayvon, your switch from Mike to Donna in the round table was just frustrating. Trayvon had such strong conviction against Mike but decided to follow the crowd. Only the crowd didn't tell Trayvon they had switched their plan to vote him out instead of Donna. Trayvon was banished, but he wasn't allowed to reveal he was a faithful. Karine did give them a warning things were going to be a bit different. I feel it was just inevitable Trayvon would be voted out. It was just a case of whether it would be at the round table or the Fire of Truth. Trayvon at times had some good theories, but some of his reasons for either not following through with those theories or just switching his vote showed that his constant inconsistency couldn't be relied upon, but it can also seem treacherous. Next up was Donna, who thought she was being alienated as the others wanted to talk to everyone but her. The thing about psychics and clairvoyants in this game is that they're usually either murdered or banished early on. Donna managed to make it to the final episode, but she didn't seem like a player anyone could rely on, one for the traitors to keep around as she wasn't dangerous in the game. She was someone you could foresee being banished eventually, because she was always suspected, going way back to episode 1. Donna didn't seem to show any conviction after her vote for Mike in episode 9. When questioned, she just said she was an idiot. She voted for Trayvon at the round table, but voted for Mike again at the Fire of Truth. Donna also had a knack of getting on extremely well with 2 of the traitors, which ended up being part of the reason she was banished at the Fire of Truth. The possible thought that she was either the original traitor or blackmailed by one. It left us with Gerline, Leroy and Mike, just like the possible scenario raised during the previous night's chat between Gerline and Leroy. The early alliance being a chalkboard away from sharing the pot if they stuck to the plan. With one last vote to banish, we knew where Mike was going to vote. No surprise he voted for Leroy, having said that his plan was to put distrust in Gerline about Leroy. Mike used Trayvon's theory about Kuzi leaving a clue by voting for Mike to convince Gerline that Mickey voted for Leroy because he's a traitor. Not sure why Gerline didn't put it together, but maybe Kuzi did what Mike is suggesting Mickey did. What Leroy said was what he did, voted for Mike. Though going by the last couple of days, I did question whether it was because Leroy actually thought Mike was a traitor. No one knew Trayvon's status in the game, so that cloud was hanging over them. Leroy never really questioned the way Mike had pivoted himself so that he was aligned to Gerline and Leroy. A very good move by Mike, by the way, which was even better because Mike's real target of manipulation was Gerline, the deciding vote. What magic did Mike enact to pull the wool over Gerline's eyes, to be that little voice of doubt? Gerline and Leroy were so consistent with their trust with each other. Did she have these doubts about Leroy, but we weren't privy to it because the edit made sure we knew about her suspicions of Mike up until now?
So the people that I think are the traitors could be Trayvon and Mike.
With what we saw, I was trying to understand the shift because I was surprised that she would listen to the words of someone she had suspected for days.
I almost went only with my heart and I didn't go with my mind. The person that I'm voting for, you almost had me. I'm voting for Leroy.
I feel so bad. And my speech at the end, what the was I thinking?
Gerline, I was thinking the same. What were you thinking? Well, at least Gerline can be comforted by half the prize pot. Oh, wait a minute.
I am a traitor.
Congratulations to Mike for winning the first season of the Traitors Canada and pocketing the prize pot of $94,500. One of the original traitors made it to the end. From jumping on board in the banishment of Melissa B to turning on Kuzi and blackmailing Mickey to be instantly banished, with the cherry on top being planting seeds of doubt in Gerline about Leroy, a masterstroke of misdirection from the one they call Magic Mike. I will be covering season 2 of the Traitors Canada, so hit that subscribe button. Until next time.